What is the tool used in Six Sigma? It is a DMAIC tool. We have discussed it and again, like the belts and the roles and the responsibility, you have to know it by heart. Define what is the problem and what is the goal, and develop a process map, either visual or high-level process map, looking for the customer need, and the budget is defined from in the define to put the budget that we will use in the successive steps. This is the define. Then measure. What is the current situation? What are the causes that causes this problem? Data to be collected to prove how big is the problem. Then analyze this data to know what are the root causes of the defect and specify what is the most important root causes to work on by developing a change or a solution to be applied to the process. We have too many suggestions for solutions. We will prioritize it and we will choose the most important solution, effective solution, and implement it. Then in control, we will continue the improvement by lean. If we will find any waste we can do to eliminate it, we will follow up the improvement progress through metrics. We sustain the success and document it in a form of new policy and procedure, spread it to the staff to work, to be committed to work on as a habit in daily activity. Again, in define, you will develop a fully trained project team who is committed to the improvement. You have to full support management, including necessary resources. You will identify what is the characteristic, the actionable, quality to care. Yani you have to define the voice of the customer into actionable, measurable elements, required performance elements that to be applied to improve the process. Mapping the non-business process. The activity of defining will be a mutual cooperation with the localized management and the appointment black belt. Define, we have said that the champion with the black belt, they sit together to put where the areas to start, and then to put a budget and resource in the define with the help of financial department. The tool which is used is cost benefit. The cost benefit ratio using the Pareto, using the BBI. So we will put, sitting together, we will put the how much is the effect of the saving, how much will be the probability of success, how much will be the cost, how long it will be completed, to put the Pareto priority index through which we can choose the project. This is defined. Then second stage is measure. In measure, we identify what is the key measures, what is the data needed to prove that we really have a problem. And developing and deploying what is the data to be collected from where, and then develop baseline performance of documenting the variation and communicate it to the staff and the higher authority that this is how big is the problem. That you have a problem, we measure it. From where we measure, how we measure, what is the validation of this measure, that we have this data and we now know how big is the problem big. Then we are going to analyze the root cause analysis of the matter concerned. What is the gap analysis, where we are and where we want to be. Where we want to be is the critical to quality. We want to reach 90% of satisfaction of blah, blah, blah. It is a top to bottom data process. It does mean that the data will be directed through, we choose the problem and we will collect the data analysis. What is the data analysis leading to this type of problem? Then improve, developing possible solutions, different solutions that will be helpful in overcome this problem, determining which one are the best solution, and then developing a subsequent implementation plan and apply this plan in reality. This is improve. Developing possible solution, determining the best by prioritization, and then what is the plan, who, what, when, and then implement it in the reality. In the control, we are going to standardize the process by the application of that solution, documenting the new procedure, and then implement the monitoring plan and transferring the documented solution in the form of policy and procedure back to the staff of the organization to be committed to use it as a daily habit to improve. These activities of each stage are dependent upon the outcome of the previous stage. So it is like a ladder. Define, measure, analyze, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. This was supposed to be the end of the first video. The second one will be the role of the yellow belt. Again, it is only a revision. A member of the organization, his role is acting as a subject matter expert on the process being reviewed, ensuring the Six Sigma project uses the correct terminology because he is the expert of the process. So using the terminology relevant to the business in describing the process, because the green belt and black belt may be not working in the dental lab. They doesn't know the specific terminology applied in the dental lab. Assisting the gathering of the measurement and metric during the measure stage. So he share in the define, in measure. The only step that he didn't share is analysis. But in improvement, he worked with the green belt to communicate the improvement and process change to the staff and departments affected by the project. So he is the link in between the green belt in communication with the staff because he is one of them. He communicates with work colleague and acting as a change agent in the Six Sigma project. He collected the data of metrics after the improvement to be sure that the implementation is well and good and working in the same direction. So he shares in implementation and control. The only step the yellow belt is not asked to share is analysis because he is not asked to do it by his own hands, how to use the tools and mathematics. Some terminology you have to know because you are yellow belt, you are not asked to do mathematics, but you have to know the terminology. Some say DMAIC. The R is a recognition. Some organizations use it to confirm that there is a need to change to take. So they said it recognition phase. Six Sigma is not quick fix business, but it is a continuous quality improvement methodology. The function is a process or application which lead to an outcome. This outcome may be differ from the expected outcome. We call it variation. When the outcome differ from the expected outcome, it is a variation. But if this outcome is totally unacceptable outcome by the customer, we call it defect or error. The variance or standard deviation are statistical terms measuring the variation, and we will discuss it in the data management sessions. This only are the DMAIC terminology. Quick fix, is it quick fix? No, it is not quick fix. It is a continuous quality improvement. Function is the process that is working step by step in the process. Variation if the outcome differ from expected outcome, and if it reaches error, the amount of difference or variation from the perfect outcome is too much. Variation in Six Sigma, we will discuss it in the data management.